the vision of Kandola. And the primary vision of Kandola was to enable blockchain inclusion for the next billion. And what we mean by that is the fact that, or how we envision it, I think, is the way that today everybody today has email addresses and social accounts that we use to interact with the outside world. We strongly believe that the next gen billion will have blockchain addresses, and they will use the blockchains as the primary mode of storage of data, and then exchange that data that they have using the blockchain addresses with other parties for value or service. Now, there's another way to look at this entire context, and that is to look at how the blockchain technology has transformed the DeFi space. And where it has been very brilliant is the introduction of the EVM, or the Ethereum virtual machine, which can be said to be the world compute. So if you have a business logic that you want to implement, you can write your code in Solidity, and you can execute it as smart contracts on the EVM. And the fact that it is decentralized, the fact that it is auditable, the fact that it is something which is immutable and verifiable, which are the basic pillars and foundations of blockchain technology, ensure that your code gets executed properly, and the fact that business logic then can be executed on what is the best decentralized networks, right? Now, while the world compute has been solved, there still remains a very big question in terms of the data itself, because the EVMs and the world computes are not designed for storage. And a very good analogy for that is the entire NFT. Now, storage on layer ones and layer twos are extremely expensive. A comparison would be 1 MB of data on a layer one would cost anywhere around, on Ethereum, would especially cost around $17,000. And which is why, if you look at the NFT spec, the NFTs actually do not contain, or the image of the NFT, be it an image or a GIF or a video, that actual data is not stored on chain. It's actually the data that is stored on chain is actually a link to where the data actually resides, and the data could actually be on a centralized server. And then the entire question about what happens if you actually go and change the image at the source itself, at the centralized server, or if that centralized server goes down, what is the value of the NFT? All of these are questions that come out. And the primary reason for not storing the data on chain is because it's extremely expensive. If you extend this analogy, what it means, and if you look at any D apps or Web3 apps today, you'll realize that they don't store the data on chain. Most of the data is stored off chain. There are certain off chain, systems, but all of them compromise on one of the three, which is either security or decentralization or scalability. So you do not actually have a truly decentralized on-chain real-time data store, which gives you the guarantees of decentralization. And hence all applications today, somewhere or the other, are centralized, especially in the data aspect. And that's a problem that we wanted to solve. How do you ensure that real-time data transfer can be done on-chain? And that was a big problem that we're trying to solve. And in other ways, if you look at it, what we would become is a three-part system. And the first part would be a database for the applications and even Web2 applications. Any application requires a database. And if we are a real-time database that works on structured data like JSON and XML, then we could be a replacement for any database that exists out there. And that's applicable for anything that is a Web3 app or a Web2 app. And it comes with guarantees of scalability. It comes with guarantees of immutability. It comes with guarantee of privacy, preserving security. And it also comes with the guarantee of the fact that it is auditable for parties that need to audit, and enabling an entire ecosystem of trust-based solutions, right? The second very important aspect of what we will become is a data store or a data exchange platform. And the data store is important because it becomes the archival platforms for the other layer ones. So the layer ones that exist today, like the Ethereums, and the Solanas and the Polygons of the world, which are the layer twos, all of them are growing in size and they will need somewhere to be able to archive this data. And but this is not long-term archival. These are archives that you would need to query on. You would need the archival to do analytics on, to do audits on, and hence you need real-time governance and real-time guarantees on this data store. So we could be the data store, and we will be the data store for the L1s that exist today. The third is, as I mentioned, the data exchange platform. And the fact that we are a real-time data store, and the fact that we are a data store means that there will be a huge amount of data that will be stored with us, which can be accessed very easily through APIs as long as the owner of the data allows somebody to access it.